What you've got is the North Sea here, and what the North Sea does is just crash into this shore and creating these lovely cliffs here. But also, another little gem that they leave. Once the tide is out, what you're going to see is there's treasures on there. And those treasures are what have inspired the beach hut that I'm going to see.
What you have to remember is the sea that can take, but also for me, the sea can give.
Pete Talbot is a local artist, and for the last 30 years, he's been scouring the beaches for driftwood, pebbles, and all sorts of treasures to create his distinctive sculptures.
The mass of things you find down there is quite weird sometimes, but that's what the sea bring in for you. And you never tell from one day or the second day what you're going to find. And for weeks on end, you may not find nothing. But another day, there's more than what you ever want.
The hut that I've come to see isn't on the sand itself, but instead overlooks the beach from Pete's clifftop garden. What makes this one so special is that it's made entirely out of driftwood that Pete found on the beach below.
You must be proud as punch for this.
It's my baby.
So you want to take a look?
Yeah.
Measuring 10 by 16 feet, this magical, ingenious hut is made from 98% wreckage. After a tidal surge 9 years ago left a mountain of broken beach huts along the shoreline, Pete and his son gathered up 5 tons of wood so damaged no one else could use it.
This is all from the beach?
Yeah.
Everything from the beach?
Everything apart from the fixings.
See that angle there? That's perfect. And I love how he's just left like the scratches on there. And the roof. Normally you go for a roof that's really straight line, perfect. But look, none of them are at the same length. They're all completely different. And that's because it's come out of the sea. Perfect. This, to me, looks like it's thrown together, but it's thrown together with the bits that you've got. It's a true craftsman and an artist that can make something like this. It's a work of art, Pete. How long did it take to build this, then?
Well, we're collecting the wood and building about 4 months.
4 months? See, now I think he's showing off. 4 months to build this.
By reusing the wood from the storm-damaged huts, Pete literally took the elements of the traditional hut and put his own twist on it, creating something that's both beautiful and bonkers in equal measures.
So how many beach huts was there?
About 20 odd.
And it just annihilated all of them?
That literally washed all the beach huts away.
Wow.
And it spread it from like here over the rocks down there and about half a mile down the beach.
Yeah.
The biggest job was sorting the wood, denailing it,
Yeah.
and cutting the rough off.
Yeah.
And that's why there's bits and pieces everywhere. And that's what you end up with.
Well, you end up with something beautiful. I think it's amazing, mate. I think it's really, really amazing. And you've got the best view. That. People pay millions to be here.
Well, not up for sale.
That's not for sale. That was my next question. How did you know?
And that's the point. Inside, instead of the cozy nooks and practical bits and pieces you normally find, Pete's made the fantastic view the focal point. All this chill-out hut contains is a comfy chair and Pete's collection of beach-sourced knickknacks.
I tell you what I love is just the way the angles are. You've just incorporated a shelf, which is perfect. I don't even know what these things are.
As sea urchins.
Oh, it's sea urchins.
They all come down off the beach. I do things like this with them. I haven't finished this yet.
So you've carved this?
Yeah, there's a
to
little bit
just
of wood
fit.
I found on the beach. And
Yeah.
then that's what I decided to do with all the shells.
Using reclaimed materials, Pete's speaking to my own heart. He's doing his bit to readdress the balance of our throwaway culture, turning wreckage into treasure.
I was brought up from an era where my dad didn't used to buy new materials.
Yeah.
He used to go to the auctions or salvage stuff and build something, and I suppose that's all where it comes from, isn't it?
Yeah, that is where it comes from.
Yeah.
And also where I was brought up in the poor side of town, so we didn't have money floating around, so you had to make do. Someone threw out something, you say, oh, I can use that.
But to be fair, I didn't have money when I built this, and that's why I done it.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't have went out and afford to buy all this.
No. So the only thing you've bought, really, is the fixtures?
Screws and nails, that's all.
Screws and nails? What, even these, the bolts?
They all come off the beach huts and everything.
All right, so you just bought nails, screws and nails. Perfect.
By using fragments of the huts destroyed by the sea, Pete's created something that really belongs to the landscape it sits in every sense. Now, this might not be everybody's cup of tea. I know some people want straight lines, want more luxury, but for me, this does it. Because this is all about recycling. This is all about sustainability and that creativity of putting something together that shouldn't go together. But you end up with something so perfect because the view is out there. And what more do you want? A cup of tea and a biscuit. That's what I'm off to get now.